And what I think is not a complete surprise to everybody that's been paying attention, the Acolyte cost far more than originally described. In fact, it was misleading in a way that Disney is consistently doing all the time. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Acolyte and the cost overruns that it had and how much more money may have been spent. Let's jump into an exclusive story coming out of that park place. This is coming from Jonas J. Campbell himself, who did all the research here and needs to get that credit. The exclusive Star Wars, The Acolyte, real costs exploded to $230 million, according to new tax documents, extensively researched, I'm certain, by Jonas J. Campbell. You can research them yourself at Companies House in the UK, because guess what? All the stuff is public there. And this is, from a long time ago. We know the show costs much more than that, but let's jump into it. So United Kingdom tax documents filed by the Walt Disney Company's UK branch reveal that the Lucasfilm and Walt Disney Company spent over 172 Great British pounds, which is 231 million US dollars. And that, of course, is on the day that we did the story. Now, as you can see here, here's a copy of it. Well-sourced directly from the government, by the way, and Disney has to state these very specific numbers, which means, well, we can count on them. Well, sort of. They're not done filing yet. As you know, we've already seen budgets explode across anything that Dismal Disney does when it comes to any productions they do in the UK. The number they tell you is maybe the advertised number, maybe the number they hand to the trades, but it's never what they spend, which includes the original Force Awakens film when Disney decided to reboot Star Wars in their own image, or in Kathleen Kennedy's image. Anyway, let's jump into it, though. In an interview with Vanity Fair, the Acolyte series creator Leslie Hedlund publicly claimed the show cost $180 million, which was assumed to be by several, including me, to be stated in U.S. dollars. It was not. It is evident that if Hedlund had knowledge of the series' financials, that she was more likely referring to the amount in Great British pounds. According to the exchange rates at the time of the article, which was yesterday or last evening, this means that the Acolyte cost almost 230 million U.S. tax dollars. That is bonker sauce. With 8 episodes in the series, this means that Lucasfilm under Kathleen Kennedy allowed the budget of the now canceled show to balloon to $28.75 million per episode. That is insane, and more money than they spent on the wonderful show Shogun over on FX, which obviously became a Hulu exclusive. UK tax filings for the Acolyte only account for what was spent on the series before September 24th, 2023, because that's the way they do the tax stuff in the UK, which means they're going to have to adjust this up again in the next filing period, because they clearly spent more on this show. And the show was released on June 4th of 2024. And failed to register on the Nielsen Top 10 overall chart and only appeared on the Nielsen Top original chart at 488 watch minutes before dropping off the charts altogether in the show's 4th week. And again, this thing was a trash fire. It did manage to reappear on the top 10 on July 16th when the finale aired, which, of course, we covered extensively over on WDW Pro's show, just like we are with Agatha All Along right now on Wednesday nights, which, as you're seeing this video, is tonight if you're watching it, as I release it today. Kathleen Kennedy championed the Acolyte and Leslie Hedlund in the same New York Times piece that obfuscated the astronomical spending Kennedy approved for the Star Wars flop. And yeah, she did. Touting just how wonderful the series would be about some lesbian space witches who were apparently the good guys all along, as the Jedi were very bad and were terrible and were hiding the truth of the matter. And, of course, leading us to a loving your captor moment at the very end of season 1. I'm telling you right now, this is the strangest, most convoluted Star Wars I've ever seen, and I think that the audiences would agree. Overall, the series was a flop in the most extreme sense and can't even garner 100,000 signatures on a petition that is designed to make Disney bring this this wonderful series back. And I put wonderful in the funniest possible way. A little bit of sarcasm, anyway. We do see that with those 80,000 people approximately supporting the return of the show, we calculated that if each one of those folks that filled the petition out in the affirmative to renew the Acolyte, they'd only have to cough up about $2,200 a piece or so in order to make that happen. Do you think those folks will put their money where their mouth is? In fact, if they want to cover the cost of season 1, I bet you Disney would appreciate that. So write another check for $2,200 for season 1. Nobody in their right mind is going to put their money where their mouth is when it comes to this, and almost all of this stuff just amounts to virtue signaling, which I have to tell you I'm quite tired of. We've got many projects in the works over at Lucasfilm, and none of them look particularly good. Many of them are starting to look canceled, which includes the Rey movie. That's right, the Rey Jedi, whatever it is, reboot Academy time, whatever it ends up being called, I don't think it's going to happen. In fact, a lot of people are now saying it's not going to happen. And look at what's happening with The Mandalorian. It's had to go to a film rather than a follow-up and ending series finale. There will be no extra season of that particular show, just a wrap-up movie that I don't think anybody's particularly excited about either. All of this just goes to show that when you dive into virtue signaling and extreme political agenda in a corporation, it actually creates many problems because you're likely to remove key employees that really do make things go and basically had a future revolve around them. And of course, I'm referring to Gina Carano, who was ousted over political reasons and for no other reason because her performance and her professionalism impeccable. So you have to ask yourself, are you a Disney stockholder? And if so, are you very, very upset by the fact that Disney just continues to waste your money? And right now, it's a smoke and mirror show to keep the stock price closer to $100 than where it deserves to be. If anybody, as an investor, can look in the affirmative at the way Disney is conducting business, well, they really aren't paying attention because pretty much across the board, Disney is producing and paying for failures. And you're going to see even more of them on the horizon as we get closer and closer to all of the garbage that Marvel's going to pump out, which includes the Agatha All Along series. Can't wait to report those financials. But if you're interested in more information and want to say thank you to Jonas for an amazing exclusive, go check out That Park Place. And a quick reminder, you also want to check out That Game Place, the gaming channel that we run to get you all the latest actual gaming news and not a bunch of gaming urinalism that you're finding from most of the mainstream sources. Do check out my gear website, the merchandise website called beachpunk.com, and pick up your own rooster hat and a variety of new gear that showed up, including t-shirts, hooded t-shirts, which is really cool, and many other things that we've just added to the catalog. Also, double check that you're still subscribed to the channel. If you're not subscribed, let this video be the one that earns your subscription. I provide tons of material every day, sometimes more than 2 or 3 videos, and an additional live stream every single day of the week. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya.